The city of Buffalo has a new poet, laureate, and historian. Mayor Byron Brown appointed Itina Fareed Cook and Lindsay Lauren Visser to these posts yesterday.
They join us now to talk more about what they hope to accomplish in the next year. Ladies, thank you so much for coming in this afternoon.
Thank you for having us.
So congratulations. How are you two feeling about this appointment?
I'm excited.
I'm over the moon, yeah.
I'm excited, definitely, to be able to serve in this capacity.
What do you think it means for you guys to fulfill these roles? Because their advent is somewhat new. Of course, we had Jillian Hainsworth last year as the first sort of poet laureate. These are kind of new positions. So they're kind of, the possibilities are endless, right?
Well, mine is a little resurrected position. So it goes back to 1919. It's a New York State constitutional law. Yes. So I think the first test of being city historian was, could I identify the last city historian?
Right.
So I did some digging into that, and it to my knowledge, appears as though the last one was 1979. Wow. So it's been a minute. So that really gives an opportunity to blaze a new trail, do something a little different, and I'm excited to bring some new energy to a position that we just haven't had for such a long time.
I love that, blazing a new trail. It's a great way to put it. When it comes to having these roles, why is it important for, written word and history to be in a city position?
I think that written word, or the poetic form of thought, really adds value to a lot of different circumstances. And I think that being able to utilize literary arts to infuse something within the community really adds this sense and notion of, like, let me expand thought, let me, understand different perspectives, let me really pull into what it is that it is inside myself. But also, I believe that sometimes some things can be said that make us feel uncomfortable. And with uncomfortability then comes change. And so with this position, which is a beautiful opportunity and such a beautiful space that Jillian has created, and I think that it really propels me to be able to utilize the skill set, and I'm excited.
I'm curious too, because so much of what we had talked with Jillian, or just in general, the poet laureate about, is just about that. How do we process all the things that happen to us in our daily lives through that written or spoken word?
Right.
And I think particularly over the past couple of years, the need for a position like that, to someone who could express those emotions, those heavy emotions, is so important, right?
It is very important. And I think that, as a creative art strategist, founder of an international award-winning company, being able to step into a space like this to showcase these creative skills, I really think is going to be dynamic for the next generation of creatives and those who want to do the same thing.
So these are two very important roles filled by women. And Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown, he made the appointments during Women's History Month. How significant is that in itself?
Well, for me as a historian, that is the gold standard, right? It's very infrequent that you get to become that which you study. So it's a very humbling honor to hold that position. And I feel like having that moment to really focus on the contributions of women in our community and celebrate all of the women who are doing amazing work. We're just in kind of these kind of niche roles, but there are so many women doing amazing things, and I think through history and through poetry we can really express those in ways that maybe haven't been to the community at large.
Did you want to add anything to that?
You know what? There's power in womanhood.
I agree.
And I'm excited to be able to, be part of this space in which individuals can see that. And I think that we're going to take our talents, our experiences, our skill sets, our educational background, and we're going to do something dynamic, and I can't wait to see that.
I'm glad you mentioned we're going to take our background, our experiences. Would you mind, each of you, for those who may not have seen yesterday's press conference, talk a little bit about where you come from in terms of this particular craft, where you come from in terms of poet laureate, and where you come from in terms of historian?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Like I said, I'm a creative art strategist. I'm a founder of an international award-winning company, Get Focused Productions. I serve on the board of foundations for Buffalo State University, but I also serve, and I'm a proud board member of SEPA Gallery. I work with a lot of different creatives. I am an adjunct professor at Buffalo State as well, and I've been able to utilize these creative skills in all sorts of ways. National recording artist, and I just featured on a Grammy award-winning album. Wow. So being able to kind of be in these different spaces, traveling across the country to share my story of finding freedom in the creative arts. But the greatest accomplishment is that I did not settle for the picture that was set for me and in society. I'm come from a foster care background, and I was adopted. I was told I would be a failure to thrive and lost my mom to substance abuse, but here I am, you know, been able to add value to myself with education, master's in science and education, and I'm here to just be that force so those others can see and say, you know what, I'm from the East Side too, and I can do it as well.
That's great.
It's powerful.
And I kind of approached it by going around to all of the different historicals in the community, I feel like, by way of everybody. So I'm currently the executive director of the Niagara Aerospace Museum, and I'm so excited about that, being able to celebrate aviation history in Western New York. Before that, I was at the Italian Cultural Center, the Theodore Roosevelt Inaugural Site, the Buffalo History Museum, Forest Lawn on the Heritage Foundation. I've been affiliated with the Buffalo Presidential Center, Buffalo Niagara Heritage Village, the Niagara Frontier Council for the Social Studies, and my educational background is really in history too, going to Canisius College for my bachelor's in history and political science, and then the University of Oxford in modern history. But I did do a year service with the AmeriCorps in between, and that really helped shape my love of history and change my focus a little bit, because I think when we look at history too often, it is so clinical in how we approach it and very academic and inaccessible. And one of the things I'd really like to see is finding ways to help people connect to it. And actually, this is some of the things we were talking about, right? Is that this is,
let's infuse it together. Let's bring life to that historical, you know, the things that people may not understand or know how to take in, you can translate that through poetics and through literary arts, and I think that we can create some dynamic things.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be amazing.
And having people experience history in different mediums too, and I think that's something that we just have not really even tried yet. Yeah. So we'll be doing all sorts of new things in Buffalo.
Beautiful. Well, we wish you the best. Congratulations. Certainly can't wait to see what you two accomplish. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, we'll send things over to Chief Meteorologist